Hi, I'm on my balcony. It is cold. I've got a vest and a sweatshirt, and it's June and it's cold and it's rainy. The birds are going nuts and it's thundering. And I thought, this is not a good day to do a broadcast. And then I thought, yes, it is. Doesn't matter how my hair looks, that I don't have makeup on or anything. None of that matters. What matters is that I've got revelation for you, and you're going to get revelation from my revelation. So get a cuppa, pause this, get a cup of something, pen and paper. Got some great things for you today that have to be shared. They can't wait till I get on makeup or anything else. So I'm out here on the balcony, and I'm reading Right Within Yourself from William Keenauer. And this deserves its own show, the revelation I got in here, which will be in the next broadcast I do. And it's actually not about writing. For me, it was about the fat on my belly, which isn't what he was talking about at all. So we're going to talk about that. But the thing I really want to share today is from Madeleine L'Engle's Walking on Water, Reflections on Faith and Art. And she starts out, how do we survive the unreliability of life in this world? And you know what's unreliable for me is my plans. And but I make them anyway. So I had this big plan yesterday. I was going to go to bed early, get up early and write, on and on. But my beautiful daughter Hannah decided to come and visit, and then she decided to come into my bedroom and crawl in bed with me, interrupting me. Oh my gosh. And a couple of hours later, she's still there. It's getting on to midnight, and my husband's thinking he'd really like to go to bed sometime. And she says, well, I'll just scoot over, Dad. It was, I'll let you in your bed. And so anyway, sometime well after midnight, we went to bed. I slept in, so much for my morning plans, right? And I find myself thinking, I'm just going to get a cup of coffee and sit on this balcony. And I began to get so much help and revelation in so many areas because something stuck with me that Hannah said in conversation last night. She said, Mom, I pray that one day you'll wake up and be free. I'm thinking, well, I thought I was. But I realized, if I am fretting about anything, if I'm worried about anything, if there's anything that is weighing on me, then that's not freedom. That is not the freedom that was bought on the cross by Jesus Christ. And I think one of the things that we as Americans are called to do, and we have fallen down of late years, we are called to do is model what freedom can do to the rest of the world, what the freedom of Christ can do in your life. We are to be free. And so this constant need to perform and to do and to beat yourself up because you didn't write, instead of just letting yourself get free enough that writing or whatever other creative thing is in you has this natural life. That is key. So I just thought this story by Madeleine L'Engle was worth sharing. She had gone out to speak at Wheaton College, and she learned when she called in that her 9-year-old daughter had been hit by a truck. And the phones were out of order. There was no way to find out what was going on. And so when she got this news, she had been drinking tea with her friend who had told her she had decided not to marry and have children. She was a painter and a fine one. And she felt that a family would interfere with her work. Well, they do. They do, and they should. Because they are. Your daughter at 27 years old who wants to crawl in bed with you and talk about everything, that is what work should be. Absolute joy. Still with my hand on the phone, I said slowly, the decision you have made means that you will never have to go through the anguish that I am going through now. But I don't think I would want to be in a position where I could not know it. So she called home again, and the terrifying extent of the damage. And she says, because I was at a Christian college, I was able to ask my friends for prayers, and a network of prayer quickly went out. And then various things happened. And then she can't get any calls through, and finally she finds out that finally the phone at the convent began to ring, and it rang, and I waited until it was answered. And Mother Mary Christabel told me that she had to grope through the darkness because New York had plunged into a blackout. And so she told her what had happened, asked for prayers, got ready for bed. She read the evening prayer. She says, I opened the small prayer book I bring with me when I travel. And when I came to the Psalms for the evening, there was a picture of 9-year-old Lena, taken just a few weeks before, at the baptism of her baby brother. It was almost more than I could bear. I held the prayer book loosely, and a card fell out, a card given me years ago by one of the sisters at Madeleine. How intricately the strands are woven. On it were the words of John of the Cross. One act of thanksgiving made when things go wrong is worth 1,000 when things go well. If we're always pursuing our own thing, we don't pause and give thanks. It's never enough. We're never thankful. And I knew I had to make that act of thanksgiving. And so she said, I was given the grace to make it that night during the several days that followed, and so forth. And she goes on through everything, and then she gave thanks for the 9 years of Lena's life that they had had. And so it's 10 days that the granddaughter regained full consciousness, and she knew she would recover. She says, the gift of that card falling out of my prayer book when it did was one of the greatest gifts I have ever received. So that autumn, Mother Mary Christabel told her that at the onset of the blackout, their phone had gone dead. They hadn't been able to use the intercom even. They could make no calls out, no calls came in except her call, that call for prayer. There's more to that. It's an excellent book. It's a wonderful book. I've read it many times. But I just want to say to you today, if you can get to a balcony like this and you can listen to the birds and you can see the gray clouds promising more rain that everybody's griping about, I don't gripe about rain. I don't gripe about rain. Find an equivalent of that, and if you have someone that wants you to listen, do not care if it interferes or interrupts your plan. Please like and subscribe, and please share this. There are a lot of people out there that need to learn the wonderful grace of being still.